What up, my peeps? Hello, stars. This is Morgenstrong Comnic here, and we are going to do kind of a fun little monthly reading for May. So I'm super stoked for that. So, as you guys know, I have three fantastic narrators. One for Spirit Vision, who is Abby Anderson, and she's going to be working on Spirit Vision 3 over the summer. Woohoo! So excited for that. The Power of Mortals, which is great. And she's going to be really nice and maybe surprise you guys a couple months this year with some recordings and readings for Just You patrons. So that's pretty awesome. Thank you, Abby. And of course, we have Lexi Evans and Logan Anair doing the Hunter and the Bringer series. Woohoo! And now we have our Indiegogo for the audiobook for book 2, Monsters and Mortals, which is 518 printed pages. I just checked with the polished edition. They're getting like, we got one for the errors. We kind of cleaned things up a little bit, so it'd be easier for a narrator to read and make the characters come to life. So I'm super stoked about that. And they're going to be starting that really soon. The first 2 chapters have been paid off, and 15 chapters out of the 22, which we're guesstimating on that, 21, 22 between there, are funded and ready to go. So we're stoked about that. So I asked Lexi and Logan both if they could pick a secondary character and a monstrum, which is Latin for monsters, what the hunters call the monsters, to learn more about, to help them with book 2, who and what would they want to learn? And I think it's funny they both picked, I didn't count these. I mean, the main 2 is Valda, and Jeremy, obviously. But I think there's like 6 major characters in this. Maybe not main, but major. Secondary, I think of, I guess my mind goes to recurring, like in sitcoms. I don't know. So they picked Galen and Chief Beryl. Beryl Edric. And I'm just like, that's so funny. I love it. I really do. And I'm like, yeah, they want to know about the big guns. So I know they love Galen, and I know they love Chief. So that makes me happy. And they both picked the one I was begging the universe for them not to pick. They picked the Lamia, the vampire, which is like the main thread in the series. And I'm just like, I don't want to spoil anything for them because they haven't read book 2. I've been asking them very kindly not to read book 2 until we've got everything squared away and they can start reading it for prep for recording, which should be really soon. I mean, obviously, chapter 1's been done since the end of December, which is great. And now they have permission to do chapter 2. And I get why, as a hunter and a bringer, it's their job to learn more about the Lamia, which is their threat. But again, I don't like spoilers, so I was like, I should have said not the Lamia, but that's okay. So I won't give them too much information. But if they want more information, the fan book has that. I know I've been highlighting some of the short stories in here. Well, there's some bios in here too, and some wonderful art by my artist, Susie Zhang. So we have Before and After, which is the Hunter and the Bringer fan book and short story collection. The ebook version is, I think, $4.50, I believe, $4, $4.50, the ebook version. And the printed version, because that's also beautiful art, is $15, which still isn't bad. We did like a D&D manual size, which is really fun. Okay. So we'll go ahead and do just a little bit here. Sorry for the improv. I started summer school and things have been kind of cray-cray. So here is Galen right here. This is what Logan requested for the secondary character, although I think he's got main character vibes. People like love the Scrumpy Sensei, which is great. And I know Lexi really adores him too. So I never revealed this actually in the first 2 books for him or Kessler. Their last names, not intentionally, I just didn't do it. So we have Galen Carlin. His last name is Carlin. So there you go. You learned something new. So Galen is Greek for calm, which I think is hilarious because Galen is not calm at all. I did that to be ironic. Barthold is his middle name, Barthold, which is German for a bright warrior. And Carlin is Irish for little champion. And again, he's not little either. He's a, muscular, tall, grumpy guy. But again, I like kind of ironic names. So he is actually from Pennsylvania. He lives outside of Erie, which is great. He's 6'4". A lot of people ask how tall he is. So he's fairly tall. Jeremy's about 6'1", is what I put in the bio. So he's taller than Jeremy, but Jeremy's still a good height and everything. His eyes are actually like a goldish color, which is really cool because I always talk about how he has like these falcon hawk like eyes. And I don't mean like in shape, but I mean like in color and the intensity. And he kind of, I wanted to reflect that. I don't know if that's a disease or something. But yeah, he's got like goldish eyes. So I think that's pretty cool, to be honest. Let's see. I don't want to give too much of his backstory because we talked a little bit about it, but I did extend it in the fan book because obviously he has 6 brothers. His mama had 7 boys, no girls. She is the real champion of this household. So he's got 6 brothers. He's got 4 that are older, and there's him, and then there's 2 that are younger. So he is the fifth boy out of 7. And they're all rough, gruff, tough military men, which is really fun. Okay, so that's more of his backstory. Okay, some fun facts. Let's see here. Put some of his interest here. Okay, this is a fun one. I did this for my friend Julie because she loves Galen, and we had talked about it. She goes, I would love a short story, but like the life of Galen, like his days off. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it probably wouldn't be as exciting as you think. But so I put deep down, he wishes he had a dog again, but he knows it would be hard with this job. Currently, he would want a German Shepherd that is retired from the military like him, which, oh, Galen. Very, very sweet. Ironically, living close to the lake, Galen is actually, oh my gosh, he's allergic to tuna. I don't know if there's tuna in Lake Erie, but fish, I thought it was funny. He lives by Lake Erie, so he's allergic to tuna. Because why not? I think it's pretty funny. All right, and then here's one that I also just thought was funny because I was like, I think he would just pull it off really well. So Galen wore a kilt once on an opt mission, and he secretly would like to own one. So yay, a little bit about Galen there. I don't know if it's anything useful, but all right. And then Lexi requested, get her, there we go. Chief Beryl Edric. Oh, hold on, what's that? Sorry. So her name is actually a gemstone. And then Dayani is Cherokee, her middle name for successful and determined. So I wanted to kind of incorporate both of her heritage, her American heritage from her father, and then, of course, her Cherokee heritage from her mother. Madam Edric. We love Madam Edric. She's so fun. So fun. Okay, so her hobbies are pretty, like, standard, but I have some fun little secret facts about Chief, so I thought I might reveal that. Okay, let's see here. No one can guess her age because she has one of those timeless faces, which that was fun. Because I have a lot of people think she was like in her 20s or 30s. I'm like, no, she's almost 50. But some people just age really well, which is lots of fun. Okay, so she does have a hidden tattoo on her upper thigh. It's a gold eagle feather. And it's a very cherished symbol of the Cherokee culture. It shows the right way of living, thinking, and acting. Eagles were messengers between earth and sky, something Beryl feels that she needed when she joined the Hunters. So I think that's pretty cool. Oh, there's something like heels in here. I wrote something about she got heels because she's short. Kind of a fun story. Okay, she does have a scar along her spine from her field agent days. By a creature that has a body of a lion but the head of a hawk. But luckily she always uses lots of eagle protection spray, which is pretty fun to do that. Her and Galen like to enjoy going to the range together to shoot and practice and shoot the bull. I think that is pretty fun. She thinks Jeremy Darrington is a true idiot. That's not really a secret, but we had to confirm it officially, which is really fun. On the final summer before college, she went backpacking around Peru with her father, enriching the culture, especially the lore of myths and weapons. She and her mother followed the Trail of Tears the following month, connecting to their spirits and bonding closer to their heritage and culture as well. After she graduated, her gift was a Lexus, her first Lexus. She likes Lexus. Fancy schmancy cars. All that stuff that I don't really know how to do that. She does have a criminal justice degree, if you were curious how that worked. Okay, I know there's something about heels on here, but I can't find it. But anyway, you can read in the book. All right, and then we'll do a little bit about the Lamia. Ooh, vampire. And Susie Zhang did all the pictures for these, which I'm very, very grateful for. And then she did the Lamia and the Minion as well. So the Minion picture is really rad. Okay, so there's the Lamia. At least the one that they're fighting. Oh, kind of good looking. But that's the point. The scariest threats of human. Inuyasha. Paraphrase from Sango. Okay, so they are level 9 to 9.5 threat out of 10. So they're very scary, powerful. They are immortal, but they can be killed as I lose the page. Which is fun. I do like my Disney shirt today, though, so you guys can see that for a minute. Yay! Come on, Lamia. Short stories, blah, 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 blah. There he is. Okay. I do have a secret origin story that I actually wrote for this version of a vampire, so you guys can definitely check that out. I would appreciate that. My bad. Okay, so here's some myths about vampires in my world that are not true. Vampires are not affected by garlic. They just have a very heightened sense of smell. Sunlight does irritate them. It can leave small burns, but nothing as dramatic as in medias. Vampires can enter someone's home without permission if that person does not believe in them. However, those who do believe block the vampire from entering their home of its own will. There you go. Be a believer. Vampires can cross running water. Vampires could go into a church if everyone there does not believe in them and are not spiritual in soul. However, they often avoid them simply because there's a risk of holy water being in there. Holy water can be effective. Since vampires do not believe in religion, this is where the cross myth came from, though a cross and a face will do nothing. A stake in the heart would harm them, but it would kill or hurt any creature, monstrum, or human, since the heart is vital. However, vampires' heart no longer function, pump blood, or beat, so it's not as effective as many would hope. If you decapitate a vampire, you will want to burn the body, collect the ashes, and separate them so it will not regenerate. That's scary. That's just terrifying. Legends state that vampires and werewolves can kill each other. In theory, the organizations believe it could be possible if rare, yet their feud is primarily due to territory for prey. It is unknown if they can starve to death, but they can choose to be petrified due to a lack of movement for decades and centuries. Science has hypothesized perhaps when they do this, their metabolism slows or stops freezing their hunger. Feeding a vampire blood of its own kind does not harm them and actually thrills their bloodlust. And magic is normally too slow to hit them. But Chief doesn't believe in magic. And a young girl's heart. So I thought some of those were interesting. I did research on very common vampire myths, and some I borrowed from anime, some I made up on my own. Like how they finally take down the Lamia. I kind of mixed a couple really rare myths or recordings of the story of vampires that I found. So that was really fun to do that. But yeah. All right, guys, just here's a little info on some wonderful characters and a big threat that Lexi and Logan are hunter and bringer supremes themselves wanted to learn about. So I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for just being awesome and donating to Patreon and believe in me. The Indiegogo is a go right now. So let's see how good we can do. All right. Thanks, guys. You're awesome. Peace.